Now, to solve this calculation, we have to look at the cost of living as representing the cost of items, and then the quantity of food has to be multiplied by the cost of items to give the total cost. So we have, to give the expenses. So in this problem, let us represent the cost by C. So we say C represents the cost in this. So if C represents the cost and Q represents the quantity, then we already have an expression for the expenses. So the original expenses is going to be the quantity times the cost. So we have quantity multiplied by the cost. This is the original expenses. And it is common practice to represent the original expenses with 100%. 100%. Now, as we see in the calculation, there is a 20% rise in the cost of living. So that means there is a new cost of living, of course. New cost of living is actually 120%. Where did I get the 120? We're adding 20% to the original 100%. So we have 120% of the initial cost. And that means we're going to have 120% means divided by 100 multiplied by C. So this is 120C. And now there is also a reduction in the quantity of food consumed by 15%. So we have new quantity of food consumed by what? You reduce the quantity of food consumed by 15%. Take 15% out of 100, we have 85%. So that's going to be 85% of the original quantity consumed, which is going to give us, of course, 85% is 85 over 100 multiplied by the quantity of food consumed. That's right. Now we can have the new expenses. The new expenses on food will be the product of the new cost and the new quantity. So we have 85Q divided by 100 multiplied by 120Q also divided by 100. Now we can tidy this up to make it simple. So this is 120Q. There is a 0 not intended to be missing. 0 checks through the 0. And we can already multiply 12 by 85. Of course, what is supposed to be here? That's supposed to be a C. So we have, I like to fix that. That's 120C, of course. Now if I knock out that 0 with that, then we have 12 times 5 is 60. I'm taking 6 over. 12 times 8 is 96. 96 plus 6, 102. And then we have Q times C, which is QC. All of this divided by 1,000. Now I can knock this down further to give us the new expenses, which is now 102 over 100. 102 QC divided by 100. This is the new expenses. Beautiful. And now what do we want? What is the percentage change in the expenses on food? What is now the change? Change in expenses on food. Let's go and figure out the change. Change in expenses on food is going to be, now we have the new expenses, 102 QC divided by 100 minus the original expenses, which is just QC. And now you can find the LCM and figure this out. Let us continue in this little space here. Yes. So we have, this is going to be the change, will give us definitely, if we find the LCM, change is going to give us 102 QC over 100 minus QC. Picture QC as just 100 QC on 100 so that the denominators are equal. And now this is going to simply give us 2QC on 100. Now, what is the percentage change in the expenses on food? Percent change in the expenses on food will now be given by the actual change in the expenses on food divided by the original expenses on food, and now multiply by 100. So we have, and that's going to give us the change, which we have 2QC divided by 100 over the original expenses, which is QC, multiplied by 100. And now you know the video. I've already done the video on mobile denominators. So the 100 sinks there. You have 2QC divided by 100 QC, 100 QC, now multiply by 100. And by taking through, 100 divides through there, QC gives way, and we have our final answer, 2%. So the percentage change on the expenses of food is 2%. Please subscribe to this channel. Look out for more brain teasers. Submit your answer in the comment section. And if you have the topic you want me to give questions, let me know in the comment section. Thank you for being part of this session. See you in my next video.